Brady, let's have the Tyler Herro conversation because, we're talking about 120 million now. The expectation level is different. I know he doesn't have his money yet, and that comes in next year, but it's guaranteed. It is promised. And, I thought he's played well so far this season up until tonight, actually. Even in the last game where his minutes were cut short, I thought he played well. I think he's been more active off the ball defensively. I like the transition to the starting lineup. We talked about how the transition has been more difficult for Lowry than it has been for Herro, really. And everything has looked good in that regard. Tonight, there's just no way around it. He was bad. We were texting about it on the string. Like, he was bad in virtually every way. He was bad defensively. He was bad offensively. It wasn't just that he was missing shots. He wasn't getting to his spots. He seemed kind of flippant with a lot of the things he was doing. He didn't seem purposeful to me. You can kind of tell with him when he never really got on a run. And against a team like Golden State, you need all of these guys. And, again, it comes against a team. There's been the Jordan Poole comparison. He wasn't the guy that hurt the Heat the most tonight. But I don't know. I want to see more from him in some of these games. Against Detroit on a Tuesday night, I'm not really interested anymore. I want to see it here.
Yeah, you mentioned just before about like where he was kind of bad at in terms of his entire game. But that was the issue to me. It was like the shot making early, not falling, like bled into everything else the rest of the game. Like that's what stood out to me because when he gets off his game in that way, and then all of a sudden you mentioned just not being intentional or purposeful, he's not going to be better defensively. Like we've seen moments where he's better off ball. That's when he's got a little bit, more juice to him and he's hitting shots and he's playing better defensively. Like that's not what you're going to see when shots are missing early. And Alex touched on earlier the numbers with the shots at the rim. That was what stood out to me more than anything else with Tyler tonight is that Golden State specifically was not letting Tyler get to the rim. And what does that mean for Tyler? It's just not a good formula because you're just basically betting on tough shots to fall, which a lot of nights it works for him because he's a tough shot maker. So it can work on some nights, but consistently when the team does that to him, it just is what it is at that point that you're going to have to bet on something else. And the 3-point shots obviously weren't falling again tonight, 1 for 5. So it kind of just bled into everything else. So you mentioned just needing more, I guess, from him in these games, and I definitely agree. I've actually thought Greg pointed out on our off the floor string before it happened, he was kind of saying that he believes Gabe could potentially close this game after what seeing the way he was playing. And I was like, I totally agree. Like I was looking at like the way Gabe started playing it, a tough step back. He was getting to the rim. He's playing good defensively on guys like Steph and other guys. And all of a sudden they made the sub and got him out, which I'm like, I'm not like totally mad at. Like it's Tyler Herro. You need tough shot making at the end of the game. Like that's not like it's a bad decision. But then we saw what happened afterward, where it was like he started getting picked on a little bit. They started basically saying we're going to take whoever he's guarding to be the screener just to get him on because they weren't even going to try to fight through the screen. Which it was like part of me was like, yeah, it's Steph, but then the other part of me was like maybe don't just give it up that easy. Like don't just let Steph Curry just go to work on Tyler Herro in isolation every play. So. There was little kind of stuff like that, but obviously I will add in, though, everybody's had a bad game on this roster so far. Tyler just had his first one come tonight, which it was just on a night that I think everybody was kind of clicking together, and they needed this one on the road in Golden State. It would have been a good win. But now he kind of has his one game that he kind of plays pretty bad, but it stood out. I think that the only 2 turnovers tonight, which when I say the only 2 is because a lot of the other guys on this roster, obviously, Bam. I know this is a side note and I'm kind of getting off track here, but I just looked over again. Another night where Bam has 5 turnovers. Like this is becoming a little bit of a trend here. It's been like 5, 5, 3, 3, and 5, I think. If I have
no, you know where it's happening though? You know what's happening? It's funny. There are aggressive turnovers. I used to talk to Dwayne and LeBron about this, and they were okay with a certain number of turnovers if they were aggressive turnovers. The turnovers with Bam, some of them are when he's getting trapped in the post and he's not quick to react to it. Like I actually thought a lot of his reactions tonight were better, like him stepping into the jump shot, which is something Jovic did too, at the free throw line and all that. But like his reaction when the trap comes is he needs to improve on that. He does not have strong hands when he puts them down low. We've seen that before, and even when he gets it up high. And I just thought his reaction to it was sluggish tonight. That's where some of the turnovers are. I don't mind the aggressive stuff when he's he's dribbling, he's trying to get them into offense. Okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes it happens on the dribble handoffs. Okay. I understand some of that's going to happen, but as far as him getting trapped and not reacting to it, that's problematic. He should be at 3 a game. Okay. If he's at 1 a game, he's not doing enough in my view. He should be at 2 or 3 a game. 5 is too many. I'm going to wait for Alex here when we get to our performance solution of the game. So we're going to think about that a little bit. Greg, do you want to close the loop on Herro before we do that?
Yeah, because I think you guys are on, like, Tyler Herro needs to be held to a different standard, and he needs to step up in games like this. He looked kind of like he was in awe of Steph Curry in certain moments, and like he felt like he was overwhelmed. And maybe that was just the way that the Avalanche felt at the end, but he had a bad game. But this is the beauty of the NBA. And Brady said it's his 1 bad game. He'll probably have a few more because that's what guys do. But Tuesday, November 1st, next week, Golden State will be in Miami, and I'm very interested to see how Tyler Herro approaches that matchup again, because he'll have another opportunity. But so it's hard to like get too ugly towards Tyler's performance when it's just an isolated incident like today. But obviously the playoffs tell as well. So we need to see better play from him. You're totally right.